You're listening to European Parliamentary Research Service podcast on the invisibility powers of metamaterials.
Ever felt like vanishing after a faux pas at a party? Or listening to conversations without being seen?
Be reassured, it's not only boy wizards who dream about invisibility cloaks, and thanks to scientific advances, we may soon be able to throw on our magical garment and see our dreams come true.
If you've ever had this dream, science has some good news for you. Thanks to developments in the field of metamaterials, scientists are getting closer to creating a real-life invisibility cloak. But what are metamaterials?
They are materials designed and structured in a way that gives them unconventional properties. Some are designed to manipulate electromagnetic and acoustic waves so that they interact differently with sound, light, radio, microwaves and X-rays.
Since the surface of metamaterials can affect their reaction to electromagnetic waves, if properly constructed, they can guide rays of light or sound around an object, much like a rock diverting water in a stream, making them invisible to an observer. Just imagine what this could mean.
It means that not only could we make objects appear invisible by cloaking them from electromagnetic waves, but we could also make earthquake-proof buildings by cloaking them from seismic energy, or silent spaces in the city centre by cloaking them from sound waves.
And with time, we can expect increasingly sophisticated uses. For example, metamaterials used to manipulate energy could build faster and smaller computer components which use light instead of electricity.
In the medical devices sector, metamaterials are already being used to improve the resolution of MRI scanners and provide faster and more accurate diagnosis, and to develop super lenses capable of observing the tiniest elements such as viruses and even DNA. But what is the impact of this new technology?
Business-wise, the potential is huge. Estimates suggest that the total global market for metamaterials will grow from 300 million to 900 million euros over the next 5 years, and may even exceed 2 billion euros by 2025. But what about the social impacts?
Well, here it's more mixed. For example, the manipulation of radio and microwave signals could improve international connectivity, but could also affect our privacy and security.
Furthermore, if these materials behave drastically differently to those which we are familiar with, how can we be sure that they will not have consequences other than those intended, or interfere with human health and the environment?
The implications and uncertainties associated with this new technology are huge and could have serious legal implications in many areas, for example, in the security and military field.
Just think, what if objects, weapons, or even people were made invisible to security scanners? What if arms and even soldiers were made invisible?
International humanitarian norms are based on the principle of distinction between civilians and combatants, but metamaterials applied to this field could force a serious rethinking of current rules.
Their use in illegal activities may also require a rethink of the main tenets of procedural and criminal law, as well as the law of evidence.
The use of metamaterials for invisibility purposes in public spaces may also blur the lines between private and public spheres, triggering new legal definitions, but there are also health-related concerns.
Metamaterials made of nanomaterials, which may pose new toxicological risks, may lead to the widening of the scope of REACH, the EU's regulation on chemical substances, as well as of all regulatory initiatives on nanotechnology in Europe.
Electromagnetic metamaterials may also have an impact on public health and safety, requiring changes in the EU framework setting minimum health and safety requirements for workers.
Real-life invisibility cloaks may still be at a distance, but there's certainly a lot to consider as we step into the future of metamaterials.
You're listening to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.